Secrets show. I'm three-time Magic the Gathering Team World Champ, Mike Long. I've also won a Pro Tour, and I have a Magic Invitational card, the uh, Blue Water Thief, been featured on MTV, ESPN, Sports Illustrated magazine, CNN. There was a reason why. Was not just my winning record, but really had a knack as well for promotion and marketing and stuff like that. Anyways, here we are, and we are doing Magic Secrets. We have a lot today. Bryn has a really, really great post that I want to share. Let me see, how am I going to do this? I just need to take care of a few things here. So let me do this. So I've got some stuff I want to share. I want to so Bryn's got an epic blog post on our Magic Secrets blog. I'll pull up the Magic Secrets blog so you can see it. It's at magicsecrets.com/blog. See magicsecrets.com/blog. You can also access it from the homepage. There's a link off the homepage. And our latest blog post comes from Bryn, so I'm going to pull that up right now as we're doing our show here. Little internet problems here, and then I have a little bit of a demonstration. I think we'll probably try to get Bryn to go over more the regular format of the show, which we'll do today. I kind of start things off. I have a bit of a monologue, and then we have a lot of science that we develop throughout the week, and throughout time going on with Smitty, and with Bryn, and with all the guys, Lawrence, and so on. Finney has been really active this week. So he posted some stuff. I wanted to get into the metagame breakdown that he shared with us. But the first thing I'm going to do after I share this blog post, so let me go to the sharing, screen share. I'll go to this beautiful Magic Secrets blog. Here it is. Wonderful. And our latest post, 100% win rate on the draw, 71% on the play. So this is, again, following up on our Eagles Are Coming deck that we've been covering a lot in the last couple of weeks, especially since the metagame shift. I really love what Bryn's done. I noticed Avatar's Wrath, which is one of my most favorite cards that I've played against. So I'm really, really excited to get into this blog post. Well, we've apportioned the second half of the show to really get into that. But Bryn, good job, man. Great blog post, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Smitty, any comments?
Bryn is the man.
He is the man, right? How cool is that?
That's my comment. This guy, he came in like like as a newbie, and he plays like a professional. It's pretty beautiful because he'll, like we've talked about slightly before, he'll see a card like Armageddon and be like, "Oh my God, what a card!"
Yeah, from back in the day.
And
really
we're thinking back to Sarah Angel and Manivault era. Back when Ernum Jin was a card that mattered. So that's always beautiful, and it's just really nice to see someone apply themselves. So what's the word I'm looking for? So I don't know. So well, he just applies himself to the game, and
consistency, integrity, joy.
Yeah, he intuits things that we would expect to have to teach people at his level of experience. So shout out to Bryn.
I think a lot of that, I want to give Bryn a lot of credit, but I want to properly place the credit. I think a lot of it, he's gotten very good with David Mills' law of implication, understanding of things. And so it really, really helps. In fact, I have a demonstration that I'd like to talk about today. I was reflecting on how Smitty, David, and I got incredible results with the community in Charlottesville with our game store at the end. And the success was, through the roof, the happiness, the learning, the career success of those kids, which Smitty has kind of pretty meticulously followed throughout the years, is,
I love him.
Yeah, nothing short of astonishing for kids that were, often 5, 6, 10 years old coming to our store, and now with flourishing careers. That we started the store in 1998. Smitty was employee number one, and really took it to the next level. And really allowed it to transition once David and I, didn't want to. We wound up in a partnership situation that David had told me not to get into, and I didn't know how to get out of it or deal with it, but Smitty basically did. So Smitty handled the transition of the store and so forth. Pretty amazing. But anyways, I was thinking about how we've systematically gotten so much success, and then when Smitty came on board with David and I to work on Area 51 lifestyle, we just had amazing success helping build other guys' confidence and results and so forth, relationship successes. That's when we first unveiled David Mills after game, but we were also partnered with Mystery. Smitty basically picked up where Mystery left off and did incredible. Um, but anyways, we had incredible success there, and then of course with OMG, we've had legendary success in the internet marketing world. Certainly the world's paramount SEO and website mastermind, and with helping so many people. My wife was actually just watching a video on TV, and she's like, "Oh, look at this guy, Stephen James." I was like, "Yeah, he got to start with us." She's like, "Oh, I can tell. He covers a lot of things." I was like, "Well, he told me he really admired how we operated and stuff like that. It's great." And I've talked to Stephen. He's always been great. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I was thinking about a way of demonstrating things I thought would really help your kind of your overall Magic Secrets experience and so on. As a viewer of the show, and of course, I first and foremost make this show for Smitty and for Bryn and for our members, for Michael Finney and Lawrence and Jeremy and Tokyo Gary and DJ Michael Freeman, all of our wonderful beloved members of our group. Let me pull up our most recent. I put together some little graphics for us here to demonstrate kind of a concept here. So let me pull these up. Here we go. Yeah, I've got them all right here. Okay, great. See if I can just flip this way. I can. All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go to webinar, go to the share screen. Okay, so let's say we're playing a game. We're playing tic-tac-toe. And so our motivation is to get either three X's or three O's in a row. Let's say that we're O and someone else is X. And so this is like, we'll call this game state one. And then let's imagine that I'm going to kind of flip the game state here. Let me do that. Let's see, here we go. Then let's imagine we place a second O, and we are just sure as can be that we're about to win the game. So, it's our move here. We're right here. We decide to place the second O. Sorry. So this is state one, and let's say we decide that we're going to put an O here. O has to be a great choice to put here. Of course, we could put it here. We could put it here. Let's say we're even debating that, but we decide to put a O here. And we're like, that is a great move. It's solid. We tell ourselves this is a great move. And then let's find out that on the next move, let's imagine that we find out on the next move that we've lost, that we actually lost the game. And we're, maybe any number of emotions we might experience with that. How can it be, right? We might go into feelings of unfairness. How can it be that I lost? Like, that's not fair. That's not right. I didn't expect to lose. I expected to, either be in the game or maybe even win or tie or something like that. I did not expect to lose. My expectations have been violated. I'm very angry about that. And I'm going to use my energy now to complain to God and anybody that'll hear me, right? So again, I'll relay out the scenario. Scenario one is this is, game state. There's an X. You've got an O. It's your next move. You decide to place this O right here. And then you find out on the next move that you've lost the game. Okay. Now, some people just kind of quit there and just kind of run around and they're just complaining like, oh, I can't believe it. The world's so unfair. I can't believe I lost. Some people will take an extra step and find out why they lost. So I created a third scenario here. What if you were playing 3D? I did a pretty bad model of the 3D, but imagine it's a cube instead of where there's an extra X3, what is it, 27 spaces on the board instead of just 9 spaces on the board, right? We thought we were playing 2D tic-tac-toe, but what if it turned out that we know your opponent had already placed an X here because you didn't block it and you put an O here, you lost, right? And then I can imagine, just from my experience, both with myself, when I didn't really understand law of implication at all, I can understand people just getting upset still, right? Saying, oh, it's unfair. I thought I was playing 2D chess and, this guy goes off. I did such a good job. I have such good O's right here. What's the problem? I had expectation um, that I was playing 2D chess and really I'm playing 3D chess. And then they'll go off and they'll basically make the same mistake again in some way, shape, or form. They won't look um, well, first of all, I'll tell you this. Most people never get, I mean, I'm telling you, 90% or 99% of people never figure out that we're not playing 2D tic-tac-toe. In Magic the Gathering, when people are struggling, 99% of them have no idea that there's a strategic avenue to do what Bryn did and just walk right in and to do what so many people with mine and David's and Smitty's guidance have done and have just tremendous success, right? Um, Smitty, as I lay out this scenario for you, I had you in mind. I thought it would appeal to you. Have of course, you've seen this type of thing where people assume, like in pickup and in relationship advice, they assume that things are one way, but they're just not seeing enough of the picture. They're not seeing enough of the context. And if they would make some changes, everything would change. Like, for example, most people just aren't very fun when it comes to relationships, and especially male female relationships, and so they won't be very fun for a girl, and it really tends to slow things down. Just as one simple thing. Can I get you to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to make events. An event can be anything. That was one of the um, biggest premises of um, what the work we were doing there was. Events are fun.
Yeah,
And an event can be literally like almost nothing, or it can be like a big shebang. Um, so part of keeping things fun is making events.
yeah.
Um, and
Because you're looking for a value engine, so you don't have to like lift everything up on your shoulder. You don't have to be kind of an entertainer as much, where you're getting a lot of the entertainment value from the existence of the event, from other people kind of vibing with you and enjoying themselves, be it a small party or a get together or like you said, a big bash.
yeah, or going to sit on Mike's roof and drink prosecco. That was an event.
Yeah,
That particular roof was fantastic.
yeah, yeah. Do it all
I'm
the time.
yeah. So yeah, you just gotta kind of keep things like that in mind. And you know, laziness is a scourge, but like it's okay to be
Because
lazy.
you found with the expectations, like when people just sit on the level of expectations, they're just always stuck because any bad feedback they get, they're like, oh, my expectations are violated again. See, God screwed up.
Well, like as a female, let's say you expect a 5 carat diamond ring, and the perfect person comes along, you get into a relationship with them, and they propose to you with a 2.5 carat diamond ring. Like you fucked up with your expectations, so you just might as well not have that expectation.
Right, because it just ruins things. Like now you're not able to appreciate the beautiful 2.5 carat ring. You're actually literally gonna be unhappy about it, even if you push your feelings down, right? You're still gonna feel resentment, like feel like
Yeah,
maybe there's something
you'll have
wrong
had
with
that.
you.
Like the scourge of any relationship is contempt.
It is. It is. That's so beautiful, Smitty. And Smitty, like you really, like we didn't understand this, and we figured this stuff out with David's help, and it's just transformative. It's not like we want to go back, you know. and
Yeah, I
be
mean,
a
remember
different
eye
way.
rolling. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, if someone rolls their eyes at you, they should basically, like, you know, you should reconsider your relationship with them.
yeah,
You
yeah, and
know,
it's and it's something to
friend,
learn.
foe, partner, whatever. Like, that just shows that they have contempt for you.
Yeah. So Smitty is pointing to um, these important like ley lines, these important concepts in relationships that are overwhelmingly important, but that people in the normal world typically don't realize very much about what they are, very much about how they work and interplay, right? Whereas for Smitty and I, it's very natural, and it's very natural for us to guide people through that experience, right? Um, Likewise, in magic, we'll have these conceptual blocks. We'll have this feeling like it should be some way, right? Um, I'm playing my big dragon deck, and I should be able to win. And then you lose, and you don't know what to do, and so you just kind of typically wind up just readjusting your expectations, dumbing down your expectations. Usually, is what you do, where you pretty much feel like a you know God just kind of screwed up and made this sort of lousy world, and then B, uh, you're not as good as you previously thought or had hoped or whatever. So it's sort of a disaster that goes round and round in circles. Now with Magic Secrets, um, which was the kind of first online informational product that David and I collaborated on, we started addressing a lot of these ideas. For example, um, so I was thinking about this when it came to us competing at the pro level in Magic against the Ivy League teams and the worldwide Ivy League teams and so forth. The various other teams that we were playing against, they were typically staffed with people who had done the very best in school, who tested highest on quick association tests and so forth that are very very common and very very popular in education. And indeed, they they were typically people that would have a very strong natural aptitude for magic. That's not what we went looking for with David and I. We went looking for people like Smitty who are more cultural. And like David literally felt like the very first issue to deal with magic play is magic culture. And do we have a culture of arrogance, or do we have a culture of curiosity? Right? Kind of and a culture of arrogance will go with a very austere culture. Um, there can be humor in it, but it's a certain kind of one-sided humor, where typically from another side it'll actually look even bad, right? Look unfair. And fairness, my dogs know about fairness. So does everybody else, right? Like like if I put my dogs away and in a kind of a timeout, and they know that they did something that we don't like and that they've been told about before, then they won't complain about being put in a timeout. But if we put them in a timeout because like we know that they're like in danger or something like that, like the guys coming in and mow the lawn, then they will protest furiously because they feel like it's unfair, and they don't understand why they're being treated this way. And it's anyways, it's just basically universal. By the way, I just took note that Billy Valentino's here with us. Billy, we hope you're doing great. Billy just recently learned how to play Magic, and we haven't heard from him on the show since he played his first game. How you doing, Billy?
I'm doing great. I would say learning how to play it is a bit of a stretch, but Bryn was terrific, and it was just a really, really fun afternoon. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep going.
Well, we've got the event coming up in Tampa, and
Yes.
more people are getting excited about it. For those of you that don't know, Billy is for 2 decades Conan O'Brien's director. Also has been associate director on Saturday Night Live, and directed Arsenio Hall, all kinds of things. And huge friend of the show. He's always been a friend of OMG. Picked up Magic from just jumping on the show and getting excited about it. And so he's actually hosting our first Magic Secrets live event. It's going to be in Tampa. in November. So we're really excited about that, Billy. How you doing,
Yeah.
man? What's been going on?
Well, right now I'm working on my podcast. So
Nice.
we have a couple of guests coming on later on. And
Super.
then what else do I have? I wrote a film noir film,
That's
and
super.
it's really going to be cool.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you'd mentioned that you made a recent contact with a country starlet, and I know that that's exciting too. Lots going on.
Yes, yeah, quite a bit. But you know
Oh, and
what?
we
I've been
yeah.
listening to you guys chatting the past 15 minutes or so, and you guys come up with some really poignant things, and it just shows me the fiber of you guys. You know, Smitty, you were very eloquent when you were talking about relationships, and yeah, they are complex.
They
And
are.
you know,
Yeah.
I think we should do a roundtable when you guys are here, and
Okay, good.
we could just discuss.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of discussions, and I really appreciate you saying that and putting that this way. Billy, you've worked with a lot of people. Being a high level, to give you guys a sense of Billy's background, he started one of the first cable access shows in New York for representing music. He actually had the Goo Goo Dolls. That was their first time on playing any sort of an act, but he would have people on, and then he wound up working with Conan and a bunch of other people. Um, there's all kinds of people that you can work with in business. There's people that um, have high skills on really relevant talents, and then there's people that have really good personalities, and then there's
Yep.
people that have kind of strategic personalities. You know, it's really rough though. Like when one of those things is missing, Billy, if somebody's low on skill, if they're low on integrity, or if they just really can't get a sense of how things work, what goes on strategically, then that person's a lot harder to work with. You've managed very complex shows with a lot of moving parts. One of the things you pointed out to me, Smitty, Billy, oftentimes Conan would want you to act in skits.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would actually see other people portray
Yeah.
you on Conan's show. Why was that? You had a good reason for it.
I do have a good reason, right? The first time that they approached me was way long ago, and it was they were doing a sketch. They were like, "Oh, can you come in a little early and be an actor in this thing?" I'm like, "What's the sketch?" Well, and we had this Russian kind of stripper that would always do sketches for us. Her name was Siberia. And he goes, "Well, it's going to be you and Siberia." I said, "Goodbye. I'm not doing it. I'll see you."
Because you knew you were going to be the butt of the joke.
And then,
But there's more to it because Billy, who's got to direct that skit?
well, yeah, that they don't take these things into consideration. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
when it was just, just all the different sketches, and I became notorious as the one director, the one crew member, the one staff member who did not want to be on camera. And they stopped
Well,
asking.
and the funny thing is, you've actually acted and been on camera, but you didn't want to drop the ball as a director
Right,
because
of
you were
course.
acting. And
So,
but that's a real move of integrity because you've been even recently cast for other people's movies and stuff like that. It's not even like you have a problem with acting, but what you did have a problem with was your integrity. Like, well, you had great integrity. Your problem was you knew that if you were having to direct yourself, it was going to be much more difficult and really even
oh,
impossible.
without a doubt. And I always put that first and foremost. Even at the university, the kids would be like, "Oh, can you be in one of our sketches?" I'm like, "If I'm acting in your sketch, then I can't be upstairs judging what you're actually doing." Once in a while, I'll acquiesce and I'll let them do something with me. But
You don't want to be a stick in the mud, but really from a standpoint of excellence, because I mean you can literally look up videos on YouTube with a lady playing Billy Valentino, Conan's
that's
director, and you're like, what is this? She's obviously not a man. She doesn't even look like she's a director. She looks like she's maybe a camera person or something like that, but she doesn't look like she's the director.
Well,
and
that's
she, but that was so you could direct it and make it look good and make it look right, and also direct the rest of the show and keep the rest of the show flowing.
and that's a hard bit to direct too. But it's funny. I was at the commissary. I was getting my morning soda, and I'm walking back, and I see one of the writers. And we always, I worked always work well with the writers. We had a good trust between us. If they pitch something, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work. He goes, all right, you want to try something else? I go, give me a second, I'll fix it. So he was
Mm.
like, do you want to?
Because you're trying to make it work, and just to give people a sense, Conan show as it went on transitioned more and more. Conan realized the power of social media a lot faster than a lot of other people in Hollywood, and so in a lot of cases, the success of the show was, yes, it was going to be judged based on their ratings on TV, but it was also very much going to be judged based on how clips from the show would perform on social media and on their website and so forth. And so, for example, when I was there, I was watching this. It was crazy. Billy had people they were driving bicycles. There were nuns driving bicycles. They were juggling. And so that's complex to pull off with including, with comic timing and stuff like that, having everyone's microphones work. And then you've got a music act coming on later on. If you do that right, you might get 100 million views off of that. Um, in a lot of ways, you were running a show, but you were also having to direct these discrete kind of real opportunities like reels on Instagrams or YouTube shorts or like these short kind of video type clips that really capture people's attention.
Mike, you make a really excellent point there. And I saw the shift. It started happening, I'm going to say, around maybe 2013, 2014. And we started shooting the show. My EP was like, he never told me how to direct. He never even, if I didn't talk to him for 2 months, that was perfectly normal. But he says, can you shoot things a little bit wider? I'm like, why? He goes, well, when we put stuff on the internet, there's this weird compression and everything. So that's when I realized we were an internet show that just happened to be on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Conan literally, when he shortened the show from 1 hour to 30 minutes, I remember he expressly said to you that it was like making it harder to get good content because rather than having a spread out hour-long show, it was better to do everything compressed and just nail the key bits that you wanted in a short period of time to keep your resources, to give people a sense like these guys have a whole costume wing of the
Oh,
studio that was like, it was like going to a Burlington or a TJ Maxx or something like that. They had that many clothes.
did I take you
Um,
upstairs in the
yeah,
rafters?
yeah.
I did. Okay.
Yeah, and there's green screen little boxes everywhere that you can just stop and film a green screen sketch if you don't want to bring the costumes all the way downstairs. I mean, it's a very so my point is that that again, because I saw you like there's some hysterical ones. Like it was really funny when Billy would actually appear in the skits. He was freaking hilarious. There was a great one where Billy's out in the audience and there's all these sounds going on and Billy's obviously the one making them, and but Conan doesn't know it. And anyways, it was funny, but it
Oh
was a
yeah.
compromise to the integrity of the show. It was a compromise to what they were trying to do, so much so that it was costing the show, right? And Billy didn't want to cost the show in that way. And that's a really good example of what I was talking about: 2D chess versus 3D chess, or 2D tic-tac-toe versus 3D tic-tac-toe. Anybody else would have been like, "Oh man, let me get on TV. Let me, I'm Conan's director. I'm getting recognized, and that's great. That is great, but not at the cost of the show." And really, there's like that's what made it all work, was those clips, those social media and stuff like that. It's what kept Conan really relevant and helped him transition to HBO. So really cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so this is a segment in our show where Smitty, Billy, you can still hang out. I hang out as well, but this is a segment where typically Smitty and Bryn will present the our findings from the week. We have the fantastic WhatsApp group that's going 24/7. We're eventually going to turn that into a forum for you guys as well. That's going to be fantastic. But Bryn, you got some great results to share with us this week. We had that blog post. I pulled it up. Do you want to take control of the screen sharing?
Sure.
And make Bryn the presenter, and Smitty and Bryn will take control of things. This is actually my favorite part of the show. And then we're going to wrap up today, right, probably on the hour at 3 p.m. Eastern in 25 minutes. So Smitty and Bryn, you guys can take it away.
So the screen should be sharing. The Renew blog. Well, one, we have Michael Freeman, 157, of course. That was a couple weeks ago. Very dope. And then after that, he was back in the top 100 or so. So he's doing great. Then here we have the deck that we've been building for the last couple of weeks. Wouldn't you say, Smitty? Like 3 weeks ish.
Yeah, we've been messing with it for a while.
Yeah, like various versions, probably like 5-6 versions at this point.
Well, I mean, if you count mine, 26, but
yeah. Okay.
The shell
Fair.
plus probably the main changes were adding some high noons, Avatar's Wrath, Riddler, and
Parting Gust, Sky Coach also.
Those were the main things that we focused on. As I think Parting Gust is just really good in this deck.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a fun one. I wish I could have a little more of everything. Like, I don't know. I mean, like the Avon Interrupter, the Eagles, the Gambit, and the Aang are really the core of what you're trying to do. And then the rest of the guys are kind of role players, like Momo enables things. Lightstall is annoying to them and a nice way to card to bounce as the effect stays if you bounce it with the Eagles. And then I remember early on when I was playing this deck, somebody played High Noon against me, and I was like, ooh,
pretty
I
good.
think that's actually good for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm open to that sort of situation. I mean, like Sky Coach does his cool thing, but what we're basically trying to do is put out some threats and then tell them they can't do anything else for the rest of the game. And that's the way this deck works. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that, I guess.
They're basically in the bleachers. This is a nice way of putting it. Like watching the show in a certain way. They try to participate, but not. That's why I said in the WhatsApp group is like I like the deck if you're not playing against friends, because like if you're playing against friends, it's kind of like like if the deck is working against friends, it's not. Nice.
The predecessor to this deck was even more annoying, probably.
Which one was that?
Blue white. 4 High Noons action going on. I like this because it's more fun with the Eagles and Bilbos. And one of the interesting things is so like Dan Burdick oftentimes presents me with very difficult questions, as you do. And one of the things he asked me was like, why is Bilbo's Gambit just better than a counterspell? I'm like, I don't know. It just is sometimes because it just ends the turn.
Yeah.
And it's all
sometimes.
over.
Yeah.
So yeah, and because counterspells just aren't very good right now, WotC doesn't want them to be good. Like the best counterspells are things like No More Lies or Steps Ahead or whatever. And
Quandrix Charm we have.
And that's like those are maneuverable. And they also sort of like most of the time you can see them coming. And there's a ton of like goofy ass counterspells out there right now. Spell Snare, Spell Pierce.
The web slinging one.
Like all the
what's it
ones that
called?
do 2 or counter a spell that's greater than 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just
Yeah.
don't want to make counter spells very good. And I kind of understand that, you know. Having been a long-time fan of the original counterspell and mana drain and things like absorb that were probably all a little bit too powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that would
Although
be
I can
interesting.
imagine like when this deck, I mean, we can see it's right here, right? So it's like 20 games, 80% win rate, like on the play 14 times 71, you know, on the draw 6 times 100% win rate. So this deck, if it gets going, then it's very hard to stop because obviously we can draw cards, but I think the main thing, like you said, Smitty, is we can put like even if let's say we have high noon, we put a threat on our turn and we counter a spell on their turn and then they're done. But if we counter with Ang or we counter with Aven, they're both, if we have the high noon on the board, they're both done and we have an extra threat. And then next turn, you know, if we have the mana, we could counter one of their spells plus we have another threat. It's extremely difficult to deal with at that point. Even if they have, you know, 8 mana, 7 or 10 or whatever, Jeskai, you know.
Yeah, and you know, like there's inevitability with Aang and Avatar's Wrath too. Like you can flip the Aang.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes like I've just parted a gust on a Quantum Riddler, and they're just like, okay, I give.
Yeah, like a 5/7 on turn 2 or 3. Yeah. I've seen that.
It's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to play anymore.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So that's a deck.
Yep.
There's another interesting deck that I came across today that somebody beat me up with. It's been making the rounds. It's blue-black. With Loki.
Do you want me to pull it up somewhere, or I can try?
You know, I'm just my notes are just off of playing with them.
But I can do this. Let me pull up the cards at least.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you can grab Loki.
Not sure what this is.
Loki.
Loki.
Being a European, you should know who that is.
This one?
Yep, that's the guy. So this guy is making the rounds in this deck. And what they're doing is what people were doing with Nurturing Pixie and Kieran and stuff. They're just picking up all their guys. So there's a new guy called Justice. Go ahead and grab him up. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, so he's part of the deck. They have not fear of missing out, but fear of oh my goodness, I played this card so many times. Anyways, it also
this one.
Fear of isolation. And they have Gollum, and they're running a bunch of nowhere to run style cards.
Yeah.
Come in and pick them up, then come in and pick them up, and you're just drawing cards constantly off of
Loki
and friends.
Yep.
So cool deck. I'd seen shells of it before. Other people had talked about it in our group. But yeah, it was very interesting. Some other interesting cards. Go ahead and hit Key to the Side Door.
Key to the. There you go.
Yeah, this card's probably going to end up being really stupid. If not in standard, definitely in some older formats. So I'm looking at it with the prowess deck right now, especially as I want more 1-drops, and then the best 1-drops are, some of them are even legends, and so drawing 2 of them is no big deal. My boy Speedball that I'm working with right now is also a legend.
Is that the 6/1?
No, he's the 3 Speedball. He's the 3-mana 2/2 that kind of plays like Ivy a little bit. Like when he's targeted by a spell, you can pick a new target for it.
Nice.
yeah. Somebody finally cast Lightning Helix on him. It was fun for me. It was not fun for them. Yeah, it's just not intuitive. Like you're like, oh, kill that guy. They're like, nope.
Yeah. Nope.
He's gonna get bigger and he's gonna throw that Lightning Helix back at you.
Yeah.
So key to the side door, something I'm curious about. We'll see how that pans out. There. Go ahead and look at Decrepit Old Bird. He's been showing up a little bit in a few decks too. Yeah, most Decrepit Old Bird. I don't know. I don't know if he's good or not, but he probably is. And we'll see how that shakes down. I mostly see him in like Kaido style decks or some of the more aggressive blue red decks too. So I don't know what to do with him yet, but
Yeah.
let's see. Cantankerous Keepers.
Oh, so good. Yeah, Mike was showing this the other weeks.
Yeah. Most of the games I've been winning lately have been with elves.
How do you keeper maybe like this? Oh, of course, it didn't select green. That's why.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah.
So you don't realize how good he is until you cast him one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like, whoa, that was fun.
Yeah.
So I've had relatively good results with elves. Finney's Dragons, which I don't want to talk about too much because that's his deck. But we'll just say it's a Boros Dragons deck. And
you've been doing well with it too, right?
Yeah, that one, elves, and the Prowess Project, which is still truly just a project. Are you on your account?
Yes. I can switch to the other account.
No, it's no big deal. I don't have much time. I got to run soon, so.
Okay.
But if you want to, go ahead. And
sure. Let me stop screen sharing for a second, and
we'll look at Smitty's silly Prowess deck.
Let's do it. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I should be logged out. Oh yeah, the fun part about this one too is I started with it trying to see if I wanted to play Emeritus of the Lightning Bolt. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the red guy, Bolt Boy.
Yeah, Bolt Boy, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
He actually didn't make the cut. Eventually, he went from 4 to 3 to 2 to gone. But he could come back. He could come back. We don't know. So what I'm looking for right now with this one is to increase the 1-drops. So that's why I have the Kellen. And it's partially why I find it really interesting to think about the side door. So yeah, Gandalf is kind of a 2-drop, kind of a 3-drop.
Which one?
He's really, really good in this deck, and so you're playing 6 legends, 7 legends. So you might as well probably play another Kellen if you're going to go that route. The Stallion's an elemental, of course, which isn't that big of a deal, but it can be.
Yeah.
With
in this Underflock matchup, you mean, or?
With spell elementals, it gives you something.
Yeah.
You're not completely board drained. And I don't have any counter spells in this right now. I don't know. Wizard Staff is. Go ahead and scroll over Wizard Staff.
Oh, let me find it. Oh, here. Yep.
Yeah. So this is this card is something. It's not nothing. You put it on a slick shot, it's real silly. It's an effortless 9 damage if you cast any spell. Not effortless, but you see what I mean.
If a creature already has prowess, does it get double prowess now?
Yes, correct. Slick shot actually doesn't have prowess, I don't think. I think it has a separate ability that's not actually called prowess. But I had some, like the otter, it
Yeah.
gets double prowess, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, so the slick shot ability triggers again. I just want a cool game with the stallion by making another stallion with the elusive otter's ability because we have 4 starting towns. So I made a big ass stallion uh,
Uh-huh.
that had the demonic ruckus on it. It was like a 10, and it copied and got another stallion. And I was toast in that game. They had 2 enduring curiosities. I was just like,
Oh,
I was totally toast. And the otter came through with his alternate ability and set things straight.
yeah.
So yeah, this is scroll back off the stallion for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of something I'm working on. There's a lot of different options. The vibrant outburst is particularly good
Mm-hmm.
on your fast starts. Secret
Yeah.
identity is a great card. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it overall. Most decks in this style are
Scrawny
playing less
bouncer.
creatures.
Okay.
Um, I have more creatures than most, and I'd kind of like to keep that way, but I don't know if that's right or not. We've got
Sure.
our little Lindblom over here in the land section that we're messing around with.
Ooh.
Yeah, he can come in handy. Make you a little wizard that punches through, and you also have the very similar ability with Gandalf, where he just goes ding 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 ding. Sometimes like a shotgun, sometimes not.
Yeah. Nice.
That's what I've been playing.
Nice.
And you
Isn't
can
there
scroll
another?
over. You can exit this deck and look at the elves deck real quick if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. I played a couple of games with the elf. I think it's this one, right? Mono Green. Played a couple of
It's
games
an
with it.
ode
I
to
was
my
like,
friend that got away without his license plate forever. Fuck if I know. So the keys here are, your 1-drops are great. Like every card's great.
yeah.
But the keys are the 2-drop 1/2, powering up the rest of the deck. So you hit him, and then you hit a Dwynen's Elite, and then turn 3 you're casting Dwynen's Elite, Elvish Archdruid, etc. And then your
Yeah.
keep is free after that, and then you use the
Yeah. This is
Archie's
wild. This is a
Charm
wild card.
or the Speaker to go get your hoof if you need it. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't even need it. And
Yeah.
then you have some measure of protection with the Selfless State Fright. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how many of those we really want. And then if you mill the one thing Finney pointed out was if you mill the Crater Hoof,
Mm-hmm.
it's good to have an Emeritus of Abundance is probably just good to have in the deck. It gives you a regrowth. It's an elf. It's decent sized. It has vigilance. There's
Okay.
not much downside to it for 3 mana. And so yeah, that's and Tavar is another one that's like,
Yeah. Yeah, we played Tavar in a bunch of our decks. Same with Crater Hoof.
yeah,
We've played Crater Hoof in Superior Shuffle. This has done massive damage. Just it's great. And I've been really surprised by the Cantankerous Keep. Like I didn't know. I was like, okay, cool, 6 mana. Like I didn't read the card the first time around per se.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like if you conflate it with Convoke, it's much better than Convoke, and so
Right.
like
With Convoke, you have to
sometimes your
tap,
brain
right?
just goes there, but it's like it's often I mean, sure, sometimes I cast it for 4 mana, but usually it's 1 or 2.
Yes, I've seen that. Yep. And
And
there's like one
usually,
Cantankerous, another one, on the same turn.
yeah, you get another elf for 3. It's great.
Yeah.
They
Just
really
cast
gotta,
them.
they've got to be ready for you, and sometimes they are.
Sometimes,
Sometimes
yeah. But they really need the cards. Like if they
they
don't
just
have the
kill
cards there,
everything.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
I mean, it
sad.
happens.
I'm sad now.
Yeah. Yeah, although we do have some save rights that we also sometimes draw right with the Cantankerous Keeper. But yeah, I mean this is great. It's such an easy deck to play. When Mike was showing it, was it last week or the week before? I think he mentioned something like it's kind of like a deck where you kind of switch off your brain. You can kind of play, without having to consider a whole bunch of our options, which is of course a little bit different with the blue-white deck that we were just going over.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and I was playing a lot of Jeskai 3 and
yeah,
4 color too, and that's a lot of like
yeah,
it
yeah,
seems straightforward, but then like little things will get you.
yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a bunch of those too. I think Dan has two or three. I think been playing two versions. One is a little bit more hand strippy, and the other version that's that newer version with duress and that kind of stuff. I think it has three duresses in the main and one in the sideboard, and plays with three hexes in the main and I think one in the sideboard. And the other one plays with the wish dragon. I like them both. Both versions I like. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the Jeskai versions right now. I think I've
Yeah,
got 5 on my account. So,
nice,
yeah. All right,
nice,
boys, I gotta go though. So, I will turn it
cool,
back over to you, Bryn.
cool.
And I hope everyone has a great day.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
hope
was
you
an
have a great day
especially
too.
good show, Smitty.
We'll see
Really,
you
really
next
appreciate
time.
incredible preparation.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so that wraps up the Magic Secret Show for today. It was just a spectacular. I want to shout out Vinny again. Him giving me the metagame breakdown where you see 20% mono green, um, uh, landfall. Really helped me kind of clue in some things as well. I've actually been working on. I'm getting together a version of the elf deck for my
Nice.
childhood
Wow.
childhood best friend Todd. So I've been getting together
Wow.
some of the cards to send over to him so
Dope.
he can go out. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, and just a great episode today. I want to. It's Billy pointed out how terrific Smitty is and his energy, his assumptions. I really want to point out how humble Smitty is on topics just naturally, and it's never a downfall with him. It's never a downer. It just he learned from David Mills so well. It's incredible because he wasn't that way young. He had other particular strengths, but boy is he humble these days. And he just has so many strengths. Uh, great show. I've been testing this deck as well. It's a lot of fun, and we will see everybody next week. Bryn, great job. That blog post really helped tie the whole show together today.
Yeah, yeah, it was nice, and it's easy with the context David and you set up over decades and decades. So I try to do my best.
Well, you have to take advantage of it, though. So
Yeah.
that's what matters. It's really great. Great day, great appreciation for everything that went on. Great job, everyone, and we will see you next week. Set the clock by the Magic Secret Show.